Welcome back, my gardening friends. Today's episode, just wanted to let you catch up with what I've been up to with some of the structures and my first harvest from the vertical and square foot gardening. And I've managed to get the sheets onto the compost bins. I decided I needed 9 sheets wide, and so I put it into 3 bays. And so that we don't get any ingress of water, it's the middle one that opens up first. So we put the 2 end ones down. So we're not actually opening up onto one particular bin, but that doesn't matter. The main reason to cover this is to harvest that lovely rain. And hopefully this is a fair old area when you look at it. This barrel will fill up nicely. Now I haven't got a very big pitch on that, a tilt, lean, a fall. So what I've done under there, I've run a bead of silicone, because water will run out there and it will travel back uphill. Water will go uphill. So I've put some silicone there to hold it, and any areas where it's split when I was using the scissors. So that's done a cracking job. I can't wait for the next rainfall to see how it works. So at the moment I've just tied a piece of string down to there. So the second piece of string is for when it's open, in case the wind catches it. And these handles are off old fire engines. So the trays that the firemen pull, lift the handle up, pull the trays out with all their equipment in. I've got a spring on. I like that. So it's just handy to lift up, and they're reasonably light. I wanted to make them light, and I'm not worried about the screws showing at the top. Any loss of water there will be minimal. Total cost to put that roof on, £2, £2 UK pounds, and that's just a guesstimate for the screws. So just the new screws. Everything else has been repurposed, recycled, reused, etc. So the Verti-King, my vertical garden, you'll see some green netting at the top. One of my fellow plot holders said it's about 4 pigeons and a crow sitting on that top beam, helping themselves to the soil. Well, it was only the potatoes, but obviously there is the potential of them having a go at the chard and lettuce, anything else that they fancied. But overall they haven't touched anything other than the top row. So I've just put a couple of hoops at the top. I'll just show you now. So this is an ordinary bit of pipe. I had this off the allotment. So if we keep that reasonably vertical there, and then we pull the hoop round and bring it round, and I'll put another support screw in there to hold this up. That's done a pretty damn good job, I think. So the pigeons were hanging about here, so that's why I do that, and that's why I put the netting just over the top, because the pigeons like to fly in and they seem to struggle. Well, they can't walk in on this one, and yeah, it seems to stop them. Quick update on the neem oil. That was the plant that was really badly damaged. It's now starting to flower, so that'll need taking. And there's the one, and there's the original bit of damage just there, and the rest of the plant looks cracking. That looked absolutely awful as well, and that one did, and they're all coming back now. What they'll taste like, I don't know, with the neem oil on, but we're going to find out on this Sunday's lunch when I harvest that first floret. So these is going to be the pea and bean area. These are the permanent beds. I managed to get Bill and Val's peas in. I've managed to get some of Kelly's in that actually germinated, and then these are the Telegraph and Calvin Wonder that John sent me down. Again, we had poor germination. Everyone seems to be having an issue. So these are the autumn fruiting raspberry canes with a bit of netting at the top, because some of these peas do grow quite tall. And for the long beans, I've just done a single row, all supported via the fruit cage and everything else. And if you haven't seen my previous video, when I built this structure, I did myself a little bit of an injury on one of those. I'll put it at the end if you want to see that. The onions that were given to me, most are now going to seed, so I've just been snapping that off, popping that down the bottom, and there's the other one. So basically both of these now have gone, and I should be harvesting a couple of those today. Will they continue to grow or not? But ain't a bad size. We'll have one or two of them today anyway. The Bolt Hardy beetroot's now been planted in between. I'm hoping that that'll pick up. It got a bit fried in the polytunnel like everything else. The Sabuto F1, well established now and doing okay. And every time I visit the beds, I'll just pull the weeds off and drop them into the wood chips. They'll rot down there. These beds are still very, very moist. This cocoa coir on the top is doing them a world of good, and any areas that don't grow, we can replace them with something else. So these plants don't get very big, but if you leave that much longer, it'll all flower. So these will come off, then we'll take all the side shoots. So I might take just this middle one, leave them other two, see how we go. I've sowed some more, so we'll see what happens. And I finally had time to plant the Swedes. This is where the sweet corn's going, and it's the incredible F1. Some of the giant carrots. Beans are doing nicely now, a bit of a mix in there. These are the ones that I threw in because I cooked them in the polytunnel. So I didn't do them in the grow room, so I did them here, and we had major issues, but that's what happens. So, and we've got a different variety here, which is Swift. I'm giving those away. There's somebody that wants those, and we've got lots of Cobra here, so I'll get the Cobra planted, and then we can I can give the rest away then. An update on the beet leaf miner. You can see there it's all gone, and you may be able to see the dark areas where the grubs have just died. So I know that neem oil doesn't taste very nice, because I did an excuse me after I'd done the spraying, and it does linger in one's mouth. But we shall do a taste test of that rab, 60-day rab. My irrigation hose has arrived, and I'm going to be trialling a little bit of irrigation similar to what we've got on the long roots structure. Not sure how many drip feeders it'll drip, but it'll all be gravity. This is just a small gravity one, and the barrel's nearly empty now. Yes, I left it on. All the Jerusalem artichokes are now up. and that was the last one in the middle of the screen, so I'm pleased with that. And as they grow, I'll add the pallet collars, and that's the permanent celery bed with the pond liner and watering tube. Now we'll move down to the potatoes, and I planted these really deep, and near enough all of them now are out. And we had a frost the other Wednesday morning, and it's just slightly caught these. These were buried, don't get me wrong, they were buried, and we've got the cardboard on the top, and the cardboard's actually bent to the shape. So basically where I've heaped it up is where the potatoes had started to come through, and they're even coming through in other areas now. And the Picasso from Alan, they're up now. So I'm only going to be able to rook them up so far, and then hopefully mid-May, towards the end of May, we shan't get too many these cold polar blasts that we're experiencing just after this weekend. You'll see this on Sunday. It's the bank holiday Friday today. So we've got a few things under there, and the square foot gardening is going really well. Successional sowing. I've had bad experiences with the beetroot marker greens, so I probably won't buy any more of those, but I'm going to wait and see to see how these, whether they mature into decent beets. Lovely colours. Most of those spare leek pips are doing okay. The radishes are matured. These are the bull's blood beetroot. Harvest the leaves on those. Vertical gardening. I bought the tomatoes out. Lettuce can tolerate the cold. I might take it in for this really cold snap though. And definitely the potatoes. We've got a couple of tomatoes out enjoying this Friday's sunshine, but they will need to go in. So let's have a quick look under here. So there's the markers. So we've got radish Diana there. We've got some peas for pea shoots. I'm going to try that. Everybody keeps talking about them. And then we've got Sparkler 3 in this one. And they've not been long planted, so it's the 6th there, and it's whatever Friday's date is, and of course it's the 75-year anniversary of the end of the war. So let's harvest some of these greens, radish, etc. Well, I have tried some of these. They are quite tasty. I don't want to take too many because we make my lunch box up on a Sunday for 2 days. So that's Monday and Tuesday. Then the wife does Wednesdays and Thursdays. So always better fresh. So I think that'll be enough there for the 2. And because it will dry out quite quickly, what I'm going to do is get a little spray bottle with some tap water in and bring up with me to spray the veg, because once you've washed it, it does keep for quite a long time. These are the icicle radish white icicle, and unfortunately the seed packet blew and it contaminated these. There's supposed to be some spring onions in here, but I've done some at home, so I thought I might as well give one of these a pull. That's got a nice long root on it. I might try one of these for the long roots at Malvern. we'll take a couple of those, ones that look nearly ready. And first radish of the year. Now I've planted these singly. Maybe I should have put a few more in. I'm not going to take too many because we're still finishing off some that we bought. So these are the first harvest of radishes. So using these as cut and come again. I'm going to be taking off some of the leaves, but the colours on these, you could snip them, but it's better off picking the leaves. Everybody's at work spending £5–6 at a time, and I ask them how much it costs me to for my lunchbox. Basically it's the cost of a batch and maybe any other vegetables that we haven't got at the time. No signs of any slugs, any aphid damage at all at the moment. Anything I need to take off that we don't use go in the compost bin. So these are the bull's blood beetroot, cut and come again, and we've got the red juices, and they are quite tasty. As I say, I don't need a great deal in my lunchbox, but it's quite satisfying at this time of the year just to keep tugging on these lettuces. I'm going to fill my bag, wash the radishes, and we'll bring you back. I might as well help myself to that onion that's gone to seed. This weather's been absolutely awful, so I may as well have one of these. Better than nothing. So this is the Raab 60-day broccoli, and a couple of years ago I grew this and just let it keep growing, and it kept going to seed. It's supposed to. So that is my first harvest, and we'll let these grow, and there'll be 4 or 5 next time, but we need to take that one. We'll put it in with actually we'll take that one as well from the other plant. I've got one to share with Mrs. King. So that's a nice little fresh harvest, a nice full bag of lettuce, a nice onion, a sample of the radish, so we've already got some, but I like these icicle ones, and some of the micro beets, and those 2 little florets of 60-day Raab broccoli. So I wasn't sure how the square foot garden is to go, so we've dedicated these 2 raised pallet collars. They're 4 high, and they're 4 high because I've got plenty of soil and they're a good height for me, and this lettuce won't be far off from being harvested, and those radishes are coming on nicely, and got some chard there, and the next successional sowing, these bottles are still on because we didn't get any show. I've been putting a few seeds per station. Again, just keep tugging them weeds out. Carrots are doing absolutely marvellously, and we've had even better success with some of the parsnips because more have actually grown. I'll cut those others off, so hopefully these will do me proud this year. The pollinators are loving this at the moment, and hopefully we'll get some nice giant red cabbage seed. You can't get this seed anymore, and hopefully the broad beans will start setting thick and fast and get ourselves a nice early crop before the black fly hit. We've taken some of these as well, just keep thinning them out, keep taking a few here, there and everywhere, and I think waste not, want not, excuse me. So thanks very much everyone, and in the description below will be the links for the SP Mars Hydro 150 grow lights, and also there'll be links to a new set of LED lights that I've had sent me, which I'll be doing an unboxing video in the near future. Take a look, have a look, see whether they may suit your purposes for perhaps this winter. Maybe having a go at doing some microgreens and starting your onions off, etc. I've been really pleased with the LED lights, and we'll be giving an update on the SP 150s fairly soon. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.